You are now tuned into the DFPN, the Dat Feelin' Podcast Network. The following introduction has been paid for by the Dat Feelin' Podcast Network. This is No Gimmicks Podcast. This is No Gimmicks Podcast. Hosted by Frank Lee and Blak Mess. This is the No Gimmicks Podcast. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks Podcast here on the DFPN. Thank you all for tuning in. We got a lot of shit to talk about today. Namely, one of the best pay-per-views of the year. I'm going to say it now. This is the best pay-per-view of the year. I don't think anything's topping this shit this year. It's the best pay-per-view of the year. So we're going to talk about AEW's All Out today. A lot of news coming out after that, so thank y'all for tuning in. But before we get into the show, let's shout out the sponsors. Shout out to The Plugs Earbuds. Remember, go to gettheplugs.com. Enter in code DFPN10 for a 10% discount. Shout out to Audio Swim and Premier Element UAE. Shout out to the Bandcamp and the Dat Feelin' team. Go to www.datfeelin.bandcamp.com to get all the music deeds. This show will be available on the Patreon, so go to the Patreon at patreon.com/datfeelinpodcast. All these episodes will be ad-free, and this Sunday we will be doing a live game night, and the winner of that will get either a 1-month subscription to PlayStation Network or Xbox Ultimate. So tune in for that. Then we have our merch available at the Teespring. So go to teespring.com and search for Dat Feelin' Podcast to get all of the merch available. Now, Fabulous Frankie D.
Yes, sir.
We've had a couple of days to marinate on this shit.
Yep.
We were talking during the show about the magnitude of this pay-per-view.
Yes.
AEW All Out. They came in, first and foremost, they set this pay-per-view up perfectly, right? They had the debut of CM Punk, promoted All Out. He's going to be wrestling at All Out. This already made it a good event. The card was great. Was this pay-per-view of the year?
In my opinion, yes, it was. And I think I told you halfway through it, especially after the Lucha Bros versus Young Bucks Steel Cage tag team match. I said right there, okay, this is pay-per-view of the year. Bar none. And if anybody has a problem with that, you can fight me for it, because I'm telling you, this was the pay-per-view. This was AEW's, in my opinion, resetting. And this was the reboot of a new era for All Elite Wrestling. It kind of reminds me of Double or Nothing 2019.
Yes.
So that's what I go back to when there was so much buzz about the company. And to me, Tony Khan, AEW, they over-delivered.
Oh,
that pay-per-view was every much, worth the $49.95 that I paid for it. All right.
Yeah.
And we're so in a market where we've had the pandemic and a lot of people don't have money or whatever. And we're so used to paying $9.99 or $5 or whatever for the WWE network. It's kind of hard to shove out $49 for a pay-per-view. But I think the people like myself, like you, and a lot of other people who are AEW fans, the reason we will shell out this money for this product is because we believe in this product. We believe in what they're trying to do, and that's how that's what you do when you support something. You don't go to see something on an illegal stream or some shit like that because that's not supporting the company.
Right.
In my view. So that's my take on that. But yeah, pay-per-view of the year, no doubt. You have a bunch of different 5-star matches on that card, in my opinion. You know.
Oh yes.
So
yes.
I mean, let's just break it down, and we can talk about where we think things are gonna go from this point forward, because AEW Dynamite is gonna be live tomorrow night from Cincinnati, Ohio. The homecoming for Jon Moxley, but it could be the debut of Adam Cole, baby, and the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, and all the rest of the AEW crew. I can't wait for Dynamite.
I'm already ready for Dynamite.
Right.
It's Tuesday. So let's start with the first match of the night. Eddie Kingston is massively fucking over.
Whoa, hold on a second, bro. Hold on. We got to go back a little bit. Let's start with the pre-show first. The pre-show saw 8-man tag match. You had what was it? The Lucha. It was the Jurassic Express.
Yep.
Teaming up with the Best Friends, taking on the Hardy Family Office.
Yep.
And it could have been an 8-man or a 10-man tag. I'm not sure. I think it might have been a 10-man tag, matter of fact.
It's 10.
It was 10, yeah. And the best part of that match was the return of the Butcher. The Butcher came out at the end and fucking destroyed Orange Cassidy. And I was thinking the other day, I've been seeing, when I went to Fighter Fest, I was like, dude, I saw the Blade and I saw the Bunny, but I was like, where is the Butcher?
He's been hurt.
Yeah, all of a sudden the Butcher
been hurt.
Right? The Butcher looked good, man. He came in there and dropping Orange Cassidy. So it's obvious that the feud is going to continue between the Best Friends and the Hardy Family Office. And Matt Hardy wants his shot here against Orange Cassidy. So we'll see where that goes. And Orange Cassidy is massively over. People love Orange Cassidy. Whether you like him or not, you can call him Pockets or whatever you want to call him. The dude is over. And the dude is over enough. He's so over that even if you're on podcasts, even if you're talking shit about him, you gotta talk about him.
You have to.
Yeah.
I like Orange though. I like him. And
he's growing on me. I used to be like, what is this? But he's growing on me.
Yeah, I like Orange. Orange. But the return of the Butcher, good, because the Blade, he's a great singles wrestler, but I really like them as a tag.
I like the tag team, yeah. And they should get a run. They should get a run. And having the Butcher back in the fold is another tag team that they got in AEW. AEW is just full of tag teams. They just stacked the tag teams. And
and they could possibly go this way based off something else that happened in the pay-per-view too. Which we'll cover in a minute, but let's go main show now. Eddie Kingston versus Miro.
Yes.
Eddie Kingston is fucking over.
Oh, Eddie Kingston's very over.
He is. Oh,
I was there.
First and foremost, shout out to Chicago.
Yes.
I want to send you my deepest appreciation because you people made this pay-per-view so fucking amazing because you were engaged the whole show. There really was not a dry spot in this entire show. So to the people of Chicago, thank you so very much.
And for helping. And it's crazy because when you think about it, right? AEW has had back-to-back shows in the Chicago market. And you would think, oh man, they've burned this market out. Obviously they haven't. They haven't burned it out. And that's what I was afraid of. They're gonna burn this place out. But it's almost as if AEW, Chicago is the hub for AEW. That's pretty much what it is. You know what I mean?
I agree.
They're between Jacksonville, Florida, and Chicago. It's a hub. But then you look at Texas when they came here. So you got all these different places. And yeah, you're right. That pop that the Lucha Bros got when they won was big. It was huge. I saw it from the TV. I saw it from the TV points, but I saw it from somebody who was actually in the crowd in the building.
Yeah.
But before we get to that match, we got to harken back to Eddie Kingston versus Miro. Miro is an unstoppable monster force in AEW.
Yes.
From what he came in as the best man, and that wasn't really clicking for me, to where he is now as God's favorite champion. He flipped it. It did a complete 180 on everything. This dude is killing it.
Yeah,
this guy, before long, Miro is going to be in contendership for the AEW World Championship. You cannot deny that he's going to be in it. He is unstoppable. But Eddie Kingston, how over is Eddie Kingston? I'll tell you how over Eddie Kingston is. Yesterday, I bought the fucking guy's shirt. Redeemed these nuts. Because you know why? You know, I'm Frank D, so it fits me. You know, I go around wearing it, you know. People want to talk to me, I'll say, hey, look, read the shirt. You feel me? So
these nuts.
Exactly. So he's over off the chain, bro. And and I've been there. Crazy over. People chant Eddie, and it's for years and years and years. It was because of Eddie Guerrero. We got a new reason to chant for Eddie.
We got a new reason to chant Eddie.
Yeah, and it was a hell of a match they pulled. Oh, they was into it because the whole story and build to it is, hey, Miro, I got your kryptonite. I know what beat you. I know what it is. And he went for it, and the damn referee. And it was so funny the way he did, because the referee once Eddie hit the DDT and got him, and the referee, they were like, get over there and count. And then 1, 2, the false finish, and the referee gets up, and the people are like, oh, boo, it's like, and the referee's playing, I'm like, what, So
right.
it was good, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then Miro got him with it, and Miro had it was an awesome match. That was great.
Yeah, that was a damn good match, man. Good match.
Yeah.
And as an opening match, that was a good way to open it, because now you've got the crowd going up.
Right.
And they followed that match with Jon Moxley versus what's his name from New Japan. They had them next.
Yeah.
In line, and that was already a hyped up match because it's New Japan versus AEW, and that match ended up delivering. And then after that match delivered, here comes fucking Minoru Suzuki.
Right. I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting him to show up. I didn't know we were traveling like that again. So, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was a surprise. I mean, even though it took him forever to get to the ring, but that was that was great to see him. And then he got in there and it just laid Moxley out.
Right.
So what that kind of showed me was they have a very good, strong relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling, with the fact that they can bring these talents in and showcase them, and nobody looks bad. I mean, somebody has to take the fall, but no one looks bad doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's my feeling on it. And I can't wait to see what Suzuki does with Moxley on Dynamite.
Yes, because they're fighting in Cincinnati, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, they're going to be in Cincinnati for that match. So another reason to tune in to Dynamite.
Right.
Another reason to tune in to Dynamite.
Right.
And then after that, so what was after that? Britt Baker?
It was Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's Championship.
The Women's Champion. Another good match.
Hey, how has Britt Baker and Chris Statlander, they both have improved tremendously from where they were in AEW to where they are now. Statlander's over. Like crazy. Yeah, big fan favorite. She's way more over than Nikki Ash from WWE. I'll tell you that one. Okay. Went out there and delivered a good match. Every match, in my opinion, told a story.
Yes.
Every match had psychology back there. I'm like, man, is Jake Roberts back there helping with some of these matches? Who are the agents tonight? Because every match told a story and every match had a purpose. Every spot meant something.
Yep.
And you knew when Savender messed up. When she did that deal on the outside, where she did I think she was going to do a moonsault or something on the outside, and that's where she messed up, and Baker caught her with a curb stomp. Then Baker got back in and got another curb stomp. And then she got her with the lockjaw. You already knew the writing was on the wall.
Yep.
So that was another good match. Okay.
You want to know what one of the underrated things throughout this whole pay-per-view was the announcing, because the announcers were setting a lot of this shit up.
Hey, speaking of the announcing, people have been, and sometimes we are a little bit too, so critical of Jim Ross.
Yes.
And we're so critical sometimes of Jim Ross and so cringy with Jim because we don't want to see Jim mess up. We don't want to see Jim go back and say WWE or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
We don't want to see that. We want to see Jim be the best announcer he can be. And they delivered there tonight. I don't even have any complaints with Excalibur. Excalibur delivered.
What I'm
JR
saying
delivered.
is,
Shivani delivered.
Yes.
You know why? Because they're enthused about something.
What they're doing.
Shivani is enthused and invested. He's having fun with it. It's not like if you look at it, listen, and I do this because I watched the network. Listen to Tony Schiavone in 2000 and in 2001 when WCW shut down. And listen to him now in AEW. They're having fun anymore. He's having fun.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's what it is. And you can go ahead and say something, and I'm going to take a drink. And we are not sponsored by Monster, by the way. We're not sponsored by Monster.
I wish we were. Shit. But what I'm saying is like they were invested and they were setting up parts of the matches, right? So when they talked about the strength of Britt Baker's legs, like all of her strength is in her legs. So when she does that curve stomp, it meant something. Right. So when she did it, it actually, to me, it hit harder because they set that shit up. Right. They were like, if she hits her with it, it's all over. And then she hit her with it, and there you go. There's the match. You know what I mean? And then she put her in the lockjaw. And then as she was putting on the glove, they was like, oh, she's setting it up. Not necessarily saying that she's going there right now, but the opportunity is there. So they were doing little things like that throughout the whole pay-per-view to me that I was noticing, and it meant a lot to me that they were doing that shit. Right, yeah. It goes back to old-fashioned storytelling. Yeah. It really meant a lot that they were doing that. Yeah. And just the fact that like when they had a high spot, you get like a Tony Schiavone saying, "Oh Jesus," you know what I mean? Like, "Oh my God!" Like this, like
because it's not a hot. It's not because it's not a high spot in every match. Right. When you have a high spot in every match, it doesn't mean as much because everybody's doing it.
Exactly.
So.
But yeah, and then. So here's the point of the pay-per-view where I started talking to you, and I'm like, all right, we've hit the highs. So this is a good pay-per-view so far. This may be the moment where we start seeing the shit go downhill. Right. And that was the women's battle royal.
Oh, let me put it like this, bro. So as soon as so I said, this is the piss break part of the pay-per-view. And because it usually is. AEW has not always had the strongest women's division. They go out there and work hard, but they have not always. That's been one of the biggest criticisms has been the women's division, And it's not any fault of their own. It's just that we're so used to watching the high quality matches that we saw in, say, TNA, Impact Wrestling, with Gail Kim and Awesome Kong, and then some of the matches that the girls have had over at WWE. You know, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and and Bailey. I ain't gonna mention the man because I'm not a fan. But anyways, so. We fast forward here, and I'm thinking, okay, this would be the perfect time for me to go cook dinner, right? Because there ain't nothing gonna happen in this. This is gonna be just a botch fest, and whatever, whoop-de-whoop. Boy, was I wrong, because I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh snap, and it's just getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm trying to cook, but I'm keeping my eye on the TV at the same time. And I'm like, man, okay, I kind of messed up there, because it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So
the battle royal, which had
and my girl Abaddon was in it.
Oh yeah.
The living dead girl.
Abaddon in this. You had the return of Big Swole, which was good for me because I'm a huge Big Swole fan.
I am a huge fan of her, Jade Cargill.
Yep, Jade Cargill was in this match. Then you had the return of Ruby Soho, or the debut of Ruby Soho.
Thunder Rosa was in it.
Thunder Rosa was in it. Her and Ruby Soho at the end of it, which was good for the crowd because the crowd was into that part of the match. So it was that battle royal.
Okay, but let me tell you what some people say on the internet, which I thought was kind of stupid. What? So they says, hey, way to treat your homegrown AEW talent by jobbing her out with WWE girl. I'm thinking to myself, hey, jackass, Thunder Rosa just recently signed with AEW. When Thunder Rosa was wrestling there, she was still under contract to NWA. Yeah. So she's technically not an original. The AEW original that happened to be in the ring with them was Nyla Rose.
Yeah.
So if you want to be accurate about it, but whatever.
But yeah, so you had Riho was in this match. Hikaru Shida was in this match. And like just the former champions, all the former champions were in this match. So that kind of hit for me too. Plus, it was just a good battle royal.
Oh, it was.
It was a really good.
I kind of wish they would drop the whole casino format of the battle royal. I don't like that part. If they would have just did straight like a battle royal, kind of like the Royal Rumble, where it's just come out, do an entrance, come out. But I don't like these different suits that they have. And I don't like that. Yeah. Especially it doesn't the casino battle royal doesn't, especially if you're gonna do a casino battle royal, that's cool for Double or Nothing, that theme pay-per-view, but it doesn't need to be at All Out. That's just that's my only criticism. It was a small nitpick.
Yeah, very, very. Because I'm not against it. I'm not
against it. It's just I wish they would do it differently.
Yeah. I think it works better for Double or Nothing, but you know what? The more, because it was kind of a weird concept to me at first, but it's kind of growing on me. I like that it's different. And
it's better. It's better than the TNA reverse battle royal.
Yeah, true.
Remember that?
True. Yeah, this is true. I would agree with that. But it's kind of growing on me. I kind of like the idea. I like that it's different. Plus, I don't know if it was just this battle royal or the crowd in particular, but this felt really fast paced. It was a fast paced battle royal.
Oh, it was. It was very fast paced, and that's one of the things that shocked me is just how fast paced it was, and then they were telling stories inside the battle royal.
Inside the battle royal.
Yeah. You know, the bunny had an alliance with Penelope Ford. So that played is played into the match as well. So, you know, we got a lot of different things. We got a lot of different females on that roster. And they actually had some girls over from NWA in that match as well. So we'll see where this takes us. It's the Forbidden Door that Tony Khan breaks down.
Out of this, how much better does the women's division in AEW get? Because you have Ruby Soho, who is in line now for a chance at the AEW women's belt, right?
Yeah.
Then you have so many other possibilities. And just as we alluded to earlier, a lot of these girls have gotten better. So
yes.
I think in time, AEW might be on to some shit when it comes to the women's division.
Let me tell you when AEW is going to really crack open the women's division. And mark my words when this happens. They're going to crack open the women's division once the queen, Charlotte Flair, comes to AEW. You're going to see Charlotte. You're damn right. You see Charlotte versus Britt Baker. You see Charlotte versus Thunder Rosa. You see Charlotte versus Ruby Soho. You see Charlotte versus Nyla Rose. All these different females that they have on the roster, that's when it's going to start cracking once Charlotte comes over. And there is no doubt in my mind, eventually we're going to see the queen come over to AEW. Yes, I'm predicting that's going to happen.
Somebody agrees with you.
Yeah, they're smart.
I think that could happen.
Yeah, they're smart. Yeah. Because of what I'm seeing right now, because of everything I'm seeing right now, and WWE, either Charlotte's pissed somebody off, what happened to work with a stiff like Nia Jax, or they're trying to push her out. They're trying to say, you know what? Nick Khan's probably back there saying, how much money is Charlotte's contract worth? He's always trying to make a deal. He's always trying to save the company money.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous talk.
That's what he does. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Have you heard this man talking? He don't give a damn. He's all about saving the company money. He doesn't care. They cut the catering, bruh. The wrestlers in WWE, the superstars, have got to eat arena food. They cut the catering. They even said they got new catering coming in November, and it's going to be cheaper. So people at WWE are not happy. Andrade El Idolo is her fiance. He's in AEW.
Here's when I believe this happens. The day Ric Flair walks into AEW, the writing's on the wall.
Hey, listen. No, you can't say that. Because it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with Rick.
Yes, it does. It has everything.
Rick just went on an NWA show. Did Charlotte walk out there?
No, her fiance is not in NWA. But if her fiance and her dad are in the same company, the writing's on the wall.
That's if that could be the case. Look, here's the bottom line. Did you ever think that WWE in their right mind would have released Bray Wyatt?
No.
Would you have thought that they have released Braun Strowman?
No.
Did you think that they would have? That's my point, though. It has nothing to do with Ric Flair. It's about what Charlotte has her own. Charlotte has caved her own destiny. She's made her own way. She doesn't have to live off of Ric Flair anymore. She's Charlotte Flair. She's already done everything she can do at WWE. There's nothing left for her to do. Who else is left for her to wrestle? They're putting her in the ring with Nia Jax. That ought to show you right there. Hey, Charlotte, we got nothing for you. Now, Charlotte should be back there saying, that doesn't work for me, brother. She should do that.
That's true. But we're digressing.
We're digressing because she's going to end up at AEW. We're going to look back at this show today, at this moment in time, okay, September 7th, 2021, and you're going to say, hey, Frank D was right because here comes the queen, Ashley Flair, on AEW.
Yeah, it'll be Ashley Flair. Okay, cool. But that aside, Women's Battle Royal, great.
Yes.
And I'm like, holy shit, we still have CM Punk versus Darby Allin. CM Punk versus Darby Allin. Fucking great match.
Yeah, but we're skipping a match here.
What are we skipping?
Because we're skipping the match. It was, I think the order went
The Lucha Brothers versus.
How the hell can you forget that?
My bad.
Let's give it a proper introduction for the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Bros, with a hell of an entrance to the ring. Banging. You understand? Banging. Hell of an entrance to the ring, taking on the Elite's Young Bucks. And people can hate on the Bucks all they want. I find them hilarious. You can whatever. Them dudes went out there and they put on the show.
Tore the house down.
They tore the house out.
I expect nothing less when those two tag teams go against each other.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a good match. They've never not had a bad match in AEW.
And Pence's family was in the front row. They came out at the end when they won.
Yep.
You know, so that ought to tell you something. I was like, if the Bucks don't drop the belts here, they ain't dropping them. And they dropped them. And did you see the damn shoe? If you watch Being the Elite, did you see? Matt Jackson was talking about the damn shoe. He was talking about, I'm going to have the bag and I'm going to throw it over. You know, he told Brandon Cutler to throw the bag over. You know, you're gonna have to hoist it over the cage. So it'll be the secret weapon. The damn shoe with all the thumbtacks.
Yep.
Unbelievable shit. Crazy. And just all the high spots, storytelling, high spots. They were just going crazy in there.
Yeah.
Crazy. One of the best cage matches I've ever seen. It was a cage match that had blood in it. WWE.
Yes.
If you don't have blood, there ain't no point in having no cage match. And some people say, "Oh, well, what's the point of having it? Why, you know, these two teams have wrestled so much. What's the point of having them in the cage?" Well, number one, if you look at the situation, the Elite is the number one stable right now in AEW.
Yep.
You got the Good Brothers out there in the Elite. You got Brandon Cutler. You got what's the dude? The Japanese guy. I forget his name.
The oily man. That's what I call him.
You forgot him. You got Brandon Cutler out there. You got Callis. You got Omega. Now you got Adam Cole, but we'll get to that. So you got a bunch of people in the Elite, right?
Yep.
So of course you're going to need a cage to keep them out. That makes sense. But now that the Lucha Brothers have won this match, we got some fresh matches that they could go for the tag team. We got Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz, FTR.
Yep.
Okay, you got so many different cats out there. It's time to
Butcher and the Blade.
Butcher and the Blade. It's time to move over. You still got Jack Evans and Helico. You got them. Yep. You got Private Party. You got Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy.
Yep.
You got all of them out there. And you know something else? Marco's stunt doesn't really bother me like he bothers everybody else. I ain't got no problem with Marco's stunt.
I don't have a problem with Marco's stunt either.
Yeah, some people do.
Marco's actually pretty fucking funny, bro.
Yeah, he is. If you watch Being the Elite, he actually is.
Marco's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
So, I like Marco.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have so many things that you could do with them now. Outside of a rematch with
Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks.
Yeah.
You could do that again, and shit, if you want to solidify them, have them go over again, and then you start rolling in these tag teams. But there's a lot of options that you can have with them winning those belts, which is why I like that they won those belts. Plus, it's their first championship reign in AEW.
Well,
so I really appreciate it.
But the only problem that I have, and this is kind of fast forward a little bit, the only issue that I have with the post-match stuff in the main event was that the Young Bucks came out there and were involved in that. And I think it kind of takes away from the match they had earlier where they should have been back selling that. They should have been
Right.
too hurt
They sold
to
it
come
a
back
little
out
bit.
there. They sold a little bit, but
sold
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're too hurt to come out here and be involved in this or whatever. But I get why they did it. But you know, they they wanted to, you know, their boy was there. They didn't want to miss that moment. But you know.
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, I see why anyone could have an issue with that. Because they still sold it to me.
Yeah.
They were limping out there, you know.
Yeah.
So it didn't bother me as much in the main event, especially because that was a kick-ass match anyway. And shit, you had fucking Ray Phoenix flying off the top of the cage. I thought he was gonna do the fucking driver from the top of the cage. I was like, bruh, he's gonna break his fucking legs, because I thought that's what they were going for. Like, he's gonna break his fucking legs.
Let me put it to you like this: people think that it's just so whatever. Look, one wrong move on that top of that cage, and coming off there, you can break a knee or break a leg. You can blow out your knee. You do a bunch of different things on that. You gotta trust the people that you out there with, and that's it. So my hat's off to the Young Bucks and Lucha Bros for risking their bodies for our entertainment.
Hell yeah, bro. That was fucking amazing. But yeah, great win for the Lucha Bros. Chicago loved it. I think that was out of all the matches, not necessarily things that happened, but out of all the matches, I think that one shocked me the most, and I was the most happy by it.
Yeah, they tore the house down with that one, and it was kind of like, damn, I feel bad for whoever has to go on after that. You know what I mean? So then if you look at the order of everything, I believe at that point it was time for the Casino Battle Royal. I think after the tag. No, was it?
No, it was Casino Battle Royal tag team match. Punk versus Allen was after that match.
Okay, because I thought Jericho versus MJF was after that.
No, yeah, you're right. Jericho versus MJF was.
You gotta remember, people. This just happened on Sunday. It is now Tuesday. So
we're still. I'm still hyped about the shit. Honestly.
Yeah,
but yeah. So Jericho versus MJF, another good match.
Well, first of all, before we start talking about the match, let's talk about the entrance. So it was the old school countdown on the screens on the on the screens there, and I'm thinking to myself, I was like, oh snap, Jericho is coming out with his old entrance. I said, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
No.
At that point, I was like, oh shit, maybe this is his last match because it's coming out to the countdown.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it was like Jericho's last match. I was like, well, fuck, are they I'm still like, are they confirming like this is his fucking last match? And then MJF's music hits, and I'm like, that was fucking good.
Yeah, they got me. Because I'm actually looking like, what the hell is going on here? And then Jericho comes out, and he got his boy from Fozzy to do a guitar instrumental.
And the crowd sings.
It didn't come off that good on TV, though.
I think it was okay. I just think the crowd was off sync like a motherfucker.
The crowd could have been off sync, but it's like the audio wasn't, the acoustics wasn't matching. Yeah. So that was the only issue. Other than that, I thought the match was good. I thought this was one of Jericho's better matches that I've seen in a while. Yeah. He went out there, and he really went out there and did his thing. And that false finish with Jericho's foot being on the rope. And once again, they told the story. Jericho, I mean, you had interference from Wardlow until Jake Hager came out there to put an end to it. MJF grabs Floyd, knocks Jericho out with it. Hit him with the Judas effect. And 1, 2, 3, and the crowd was like, oh, bullshit. It took the wind out of the sails, bro. Like, we knew Jericho was going to win.
Yeah.
Because the foot was on the rope. But just the point of getting there, they played it perfectly.
Yes.
And
yes. Like, you could see the life get sucked out of the crowd.
Yes.
once it happened, and then like once the referee started talking to who was refereeing that match, Aubrey Edwards?
Aubrey Edwards. Yeah.
Once he started talking to her, you could feel the life coming back into the crowd, and I was like, God damn, bro! Like, at this point, I'm like, yo, this pay-per-view is fucking delivering some good shit tonight.
Right.
Like, and I brought my TV outside because I was barbecuing, and I brought the TV outside and I had it hooked up outside, and I was watching the pay-per-view out there while I was barbecuing. Like, I almost burnt shit like to death just because I was focused so much on this pay-per-view, and like that shit was great. It was good shit, man. That was some good shit.
I agree.
That was some good shit.
Yeah, like I said, one of Jericho's better matches, and I mean MJF, he didn't lose nothing by losing. To be honest,
no, he didn't. He didn't lose anything.
Yeah.
If anything, he came away from it with some more shit to say.
Right. But hopefully now we move him into different. Hopefully now though, we move him into different directions now. Jericho goes another direction now. MJF goes another way. I can't wait to see the eventual matchup between MJF and CM Punk.
I hope it happens. I hope it happens soon. Actually,
yeah.
I hope
you imagine them two on the mic. You imagine MJF, sitting back there with Punk and Tony Khan and say, okay, I kind of want to do a work shoot kind of deal with you and get on the mic.
Gold.
Yeah.
This will be gold.
Right.
And I hope it does happen soon.
Yeah.
Because match after that, CM Punk versus Darby Allin.
That's right.
Now we're at the big draws of it all. You know what I mean?
And bruh, CM Punk and Darby Allin, they delivered. It wasn't a fast-paced kind of thing. They were trying to out-wrestle each other. They were doing wrestling in the beginning of this. They were telling a story. Yes. Darby was trying to out-wrestle Punk, and he was doing it for a minute. Yes. And then Punk was telling the story of Punk is the grizzled veteran, and like this young dude over here is like he's getting me.
Yeah, he's getting me.
So what am I gonna do here? Because he's got me. And then it started turning around.
Like, hold on, let me show you who I am.
Yeah, show you what's up. And then he hit that one GTS, and Darby went out the ring and went through the bottom.
Yep.
Hit the floor, and he was like, "Damn, do you want to take the count out victory, or do you want to bring it back in?" So Darby hit of course Darby makes the count. They get back in there and do their thing. He goes for a coffin drop. CM Punk moves out the way. Punk had that evil grin, the evil laugh on his. Yeah, so it was good. Punk hit him with the GTS. 1, 2, 3. Sting comes out there. I was kind of looking at Sting because Sting had a look on his face like he looked at Darby and then he looked at Punk, and Sting just. It's like with Darby, it's like Sting had the disappointed father look on his face. That's what he looked like when he got in there. And I'm like, oh shit, they're about to turn Sting heel. They're about to turn him heel. Because I'm like, it's just how Sting was looking.
Yeah, and for the majority of that post match, he was behind CM Punk. So I'm like, is he going to hit him with the Scorpion Death Drop? Because he was just standing there. And when Punk went over to congratulate Darby, I'm like, oh man, this is the moment. I think he's gonna grab him and Death Drop him.
When he was behind him.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was thinking too, because Sting just looked like, and this wouldn't be the first time we've seen Sting as a heel. I was just watching Sting the other day in WCW when he was a heel with Luger. When they attacked Flair, so it wouldn't be out the ordinary thing we saw when he was a heel in TNA. But apparently, from what Punk said during the media scrum, that wasn't planned. Sting did that on an ad lib. That was Sting came out there, and that was for real. Shook his hand.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was not planned. Punk said when he saw Sting come out there, he didn't know what the hell was going on. And then so Sting comes out there and puts his hand out there, and he's looking at him, and Punk says, this means a lot to me, and Sting says it means a lot to me too, and that's when they shook hands.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that was a shoot, and it was a shoot with Darby too. Shake his hand. That was all a shoot. That was not nothing. That was not what they planned in the beginning. That was all a shoot.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and he's like, because they talked about some of the stuff that Sting and when they're at the shows, what they're gonna do, and Punk says it's so crazy. He'll be in there with Sting, and Sting is a legend, and he'll ask Sting, what do you want to do tonight? And Sting will say, what do you want to do?
Huh? Put the ball in his court.
What was that comment you just had up there?
That comment was, I'm surprised Darby didn't have a unique paint job. I thought Sting was going to turn heel too.
Yeah. Sting had it in his eyes, man. Like
he did.
I thought like, shit, that man. But it's like at the same time, why would you turn Sting?
Right. But I was like, he is standing right behind Punk. Like I'm looking at the TV like, any second now that it's coming.
Yeah, Scorpion Drop Shot. They plant the seeds a little bit there, but but CM Punk says he can see himself tagging with Sting. Eventually that's what he said he wants to do. And we all know Sting has some more matches left for them. Done correctly, they can pull some stuff off.
Yeah,
and we ain't got to worry about him getting power bonded to some turnbuckles, but whatever.
Yeah, some good shit, man. So, and then that match is over. Good match. All these matches were all great matches.
Yeah,
I would give it that.
Yeah.
Next matchup. This is when I DM'd you again, and I was like, all right. I was like, all right. This has been a great pay-per-view. Here is where it's going to shit. Yeah. I said this. I was like, here is where this pay-per-view will indeed go to shit. Because I was like, this pay-per-view is just too fucking good for like nothing, like no dry spots, nothing. This whole show yet. I was like, here it is. Here's the dry spot. Here's where it's about to go to shit. Paul White versus QT Marshall. And it did it.
No, it was actually decent.
It fucking did it. I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's when I started texting other people. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
it was actually decent. It served its purpose. We just got done watching the CM Punk Darby Allin match and all that, and it was put there to basically bring you down a little bit because of what you are going to see next.
Right.
And I tell you what, people are like, oh man, Paul White just needs to retire. Look, Paul White is an attraction at this point. You bring Paul White out there when you want to get somebody, choke slammed or KO punch. That's Paul White's purpose at this point. Paul White has earned the right to come out there and choke slam somebody and knock their ass out.
Right.
Bottom line, he's earned it. So, respect your elders.
Yeah. So good. It was a decent match that served its purpose.
QT and the factory, they served their point. They served their purpose, served their point. Now, what I'm looking at, it's like this. What is the situation involving Paul White and the Gun Club? That was never explained because Billy Gunn attacked Paul White with a steel chair on Dynamite. His sons were all in it. They act like they all went heel. Never explained it. So hopefully we'll get the explanation for that on Dynamite shortly.
Yeah, I hope we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That does need to be explained.
Yeah.
Was he acting for QT Marshall or no?
That's right, and it would make but it makes no sense.
No, I don't.
Because Paul had just helped the Gun Club kind of get a win.
Right.
You know,
right.
so the week before, so it makes, and then they turn them, so it doesn't make any sense here. But I do see promise in the Gun Club. You know, Billy Gunn's sons, they actually go out there and go. So there's another tag team. There's another group out there that can do something with. And then you also have the Varsity Blinds there. Okay. You got Dante Martin there.
Like
you got a bunch of different. My God, the roster of talent in AEW is just unbelievable.
Stack, bro.
And if you ain't seen Dante and Martin perform, I mean, and then on top of that, we talk about the Elite. You got so many people that can go against the Elite right now in AEW. You got Bryan Danielson against the Elite, Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus. You got Frankie Kazarian out there. You got a bunch of different cats that can take on the Elite. And eventually, you're probably going to end up seeing, once again, the Elite versus the Inner Circle. Eventually, that's probably going to happen. You got a bunch of Sables right now. We still don't know. The wild card here is where in the hell is Hangman Adam Page?
That is a very good question. Hangman was nowhere in sight.
So I'm kind of wondering with Hangman, is Hangman going to come in, you know, and is Hangman going to come in and is Hangman going to form some type of a posse? Seems like Hangman might need his own kind of group. He might need a group to watch his back here. You know, he the Dark Order left him laying. Evil Uno was being evil, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of wondering where it seems to me that Hangman Page is kind of a wild card in this situation.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But another one real quick before we get to the main event. Another guy that we need to keep our eye on that I think is going to be a main contender very shortly. And I also purchased his T-shirt as well. Malachi Black.
Oh yeah. Don't take your eye off that man.
Yeah, Malachi Black.
Don't take your eye off that man.
Yeah, I'm digging the whole story, the gimmick. This is pretty much what we were supposed to be seeing on SmackDown.
Yeah.
This is what everything that he's doing right now. And I like the fact that he took the eye injury from one company and brought it to another.
Brought it, yeah.
So very cool stuff. Very cool.
Kept it playing.
Yeah.
Now, main event time.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Kenny Omega versus Christian for the AEW World
Cage, sir.
Christian Cage, sorry.
Who came out with his entrance, kind of resembling the old Captain Charisma with the jacket and the hood. I miss that, man. He needs to go back to that.
Yeah, came out with it.
Yep.
And this match was a good match. It was a good match. They had some really good spots in that match. And
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna cut you off, but I'm gonna shoot with it. I thought the match that they had on Rampage was better.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
It was a good match though. It was still a good match. I just thought the match they had on Rampage was better.
Right.
Still, crowd was into it.
As far as ours.
The last match of the night, the crowd has been hot. At this point, I'm like, this is pay-per-view, right? Even during the match, because they were hot during the match. It's what happened after the match.
Yeah.
It's what happened after the match that I was like, there was like 10 solid minutes of what the fuck.
Right.
First, so Kenny cuts a promo after the match. He says, the only wrestlers who can beat me are either not here, they're retired, or they're already dead. And then the lights go out. Now, at this moment in time, I'm like, here comes Daniel Bryan. Here he comes. And then,
Daniel,
you know what's Adam fucking Cole? I was like, what the fuck? I mean, Bryan Danielson, you know what I mean?
right?
But that music hits, and I'm like, holy fucking shit!
Right. Right.
Holy fucking shit! Like,
and I haven't, and anybody who listens to this podcast knows, I have not always been an Adam Cole fan. I never, but I even was like, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
Then he comes out, stares down the Elite, and I'm like, oh shit, are we gonna get Adam Cole versus the Elite?
Well, he said it. He said it though. Adam Cole was like, "You think I forgot what you did to me?"
Yeah.
And we go back. What did he do to him? For people that don't know, what did he do? They kicked him out of the Bullet Club.
Out of the Bullet
Literally kicked him out. Kenny Omega kicks him out of the Bullet Club and says the Bullet Club needs a villain. Enters Marty Scurll, Young Bucks super kick party. You know, Adam Cole, and that's in it. And then they pretty much gave him the kiss of death goodbye.
Yep.
And then they gave him the kiss of death again, but this time it was, you know, it was so great the way they played that Ring of Honor angle into this show. Great, once again, great storytelling.
Great storytelling.
But
this guy's one of our best friends.
One of our best friends. And, you know, Adam Cole was basically saying, hey, it's who's ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby. And he did, you know, he starts his shtick and talking about how the Elite is the number one. It's pretty much the most dominant group in the history of this business, and that's debatable. And there's no chance in hell of anybody stopping this. And just when you think it's about to be over and Kenny's on his whole shtick, you hear Flight of the Valkyries. You hear it, and then all you hear nothing is just bass.
Yeah.
And I'll watch Bryan Danielson with a ponytail. His ponytails are in now, I guess. Bryan Danielson with a ponytail comes out there, crowds going crazy doing it. Yes, gets in the ring, helps up Jungle Boy, helps up Christian Cage. You got Luchasaurus, Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, and Bryan Danielson. And you got the Elite in there. And Danielson's looking at Omega, and Omega's like, oh, you want me? You want me? Omega jumps out the ring. That's right. You don't want them to touch yet. Not yet.
Right.
Omega jumps out the ring. Adam Cole's in there taking some heat. You got, I mean, Nick Jackson. You know, my props to him. Went in there and got his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
Especially after that match they had earlier with the Lucha Brothers, to come back out there and take the kicks from Bryan Danielson, and then the German suplex and the running knee. Wow. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. You
send the crowd home happy. It's like, bruh, I'm gonna explain it to you like this. It's like, all right, how do I say this? It's like you bust, right? and then you bust again. You know what I'm saying? And then you jizz all over the place and you're done. That was it. That was it in a nutshell. That's what Tony Khan and AEW accomplished every night.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Bang, bang, bang. Multiples. Bang, bang, bang.
Yep, multiples. Yeah, that's what it was like. Because I was like, holy fucking shit. So, where the fuck do we go after here, man? Like, first and foremost, I was gonna bring this up later. But after AEW All Out, I said this in the group. I was like, wrestling is fun again. Is wrestling fun again?
Bruh, let me put it like this. Ever since for me, and I've been watching wrestling since 1989, bro. I ain't seen it all. I saw WCW in its infancy when I was a little kid. All right, staying up until midnight, watching Worldwide Wrestling on NBC Channel 4 out of Los Angeles. Okay,
right.
I didn't have cable, in early '95. I didn't have cable. I wasn't watching Nitro. I wasn't watching Raw. I didn't get cable until like September '96. So this was like shortly after the NWO had formed and everything was going on.
Right.
First pay-per-view event I ever ordered on my 12th birthday was Halloween Havoc, and from that moment on, I was a huge wrestling fan because it was my teenage years. It was a Monday Night War. I was big into it. The day WCW went away is the day wrestling was no longer fun for me. You fast forward to when they formed TNA. Okay, wrestling was fun for a little while because I'm seeing a lot more talent. I'm seeing AJ Styles. I'm seeing Samoa Joe. Right. I'm seeing Christopher Daniels, Elix Skipper. I'm seeing, Triple X when they were, remember Daniels low key and he was skipping with Triple X. I'm seeing them. I'm seeing Sports Entertainment Extreme, Abyss. The list goes on and on. Jeff Hardy came over there, seeing whatever. It was fun again. Okay. Then you start seeing the exodus of TNA. Jeff Jarrett leaves. AJ leaves. It ain't fun anymore. And it's just WWE. Even though TNA is still there, it's just WWE.
Right.
AEW comes along and it's fun again. But it's fun again on a different reason, because it's fun again because it's a true alternative. I don't have to watch the WWE if I don't want to watch. I don't have to continue to watch this shit that WWE is cooking up every Monday. Okay? Monday used to be wrestling night. It used to be.
Right about that.
Okay, it used to be. It was more people sometimes that were watching wrestling more than they were watching Monday Night Football back in the day. You don't have that anymore. Okay, even with everything, even with the climate right now, with the social justice warriors, you still have, you don't have it. Okay, the only thing that they have on SmackDown is Roman Reigns and the Usos. Edge, Seth Rollins, Cesaro. That's all you got.
Yeah.
That's all you got. Okay?
You are right. You are right.
So, to me, yes, wrestling is fun again. I fell in love again the other night with pro wrestling after all these years of trying other things,
just not going away.
Not going away. It's not being satisfied, having to stay in the past and relive things. Wrestling's fun again, dude.
Right. And you know what? I look at this show in particular, right? Just from where we started to where we are now, right?
Yeah.
Because when we started doing this, it was like throwbacks. Because we didn't really want to talk about WWE that much. There was really nothing really to talk about when it came to WWE. Right. Now we're here covering AEW on a weekly basis, and I'm excited about covering the shit because I like what I'm seeing. I'm really enthused about what the fuck I'm seeing out of AEW. Not even AEW, because when NWA 73 came out, there was excitement behind that shit. A fan just posted some shit in here. Did you hear John Moxley is the GCW champion? Like, I actually
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that the other day, as a matter of fact. And I'm kind of curious as to, I guess they're not done with Nick Gage yet. Maybe on AEW programming, so that's the kind of shit Moxley likes. Exactly. So they're gonna bring him on Dynamite again, and as long as I guess TNT is cool with it, just don't run any spots, with pizza cutters during a whatever.
But it's shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, because now wrestling is finding a balance. So I'm more excited talking about wrestling now. And like you said, like Monday night used to be the night. I used to go from my mom's house to my grandmother's house because my mom just didn't want me watching that shit. But my grandma, she didn't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as I was in the house and I was watching that shit. 8 o'clock on the dot, I was in the house watching this shit. You know what I mean? Like I was watching it and I'm there. I'm invested for 2 hours because it was a 2-hour show back then. For 2 hours, and back then you had to flip the channel because WCW not Monday Nitro and Raw ran about the same time. So I used to flip channels back and forth just to see what the fuck was going on both because I was invested in both. You know what I mean? And I haven't felt that level of excitement until this shit started happening with the all out shit. Like once I heard Punk was coming back, like my excitement just went into overdrive. And now I'm just like, I'm back. You know what I mean? Like I'm back in love with wrestling again. And that shit, like I could talk about it. You know what I mean? And talk intelligently about it and not feel like, all right, like I'm an outcast. Like now this shit is cool again. It's cool again. People are talking about it again. And that makes me excited to talk about it because we've stuck around through the fucking dark ages of this shit. And now we're here. You know what I mean? Now we're back. Wrestling's back cool. People are excited to talk about it. Like being a wrestling fan is some good shit. Again, you know what I mean? Like I love it. So for me, it's fun. And this show is fun because for me, it's fun watching wrestling.
Right. I concur.
You'd be like, why you watch wrestling? Man, shut the fuck up. Now it's like, yo, what happened on AEW Dynamite? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. but that's no different than, well, why do I watch DC? Why do I watch, Batman?
Right.
Well, because I'm a Batman fan.
Right. So I guess Moxley did win this belt, bro. Like I know he showed up in GCW. I didn't know he actually.
No, he's a champion.
He's a champion. Oh shit! I know he showed up there.
Yeah, he beat he beat Cardona the other night.
Holy shit!
I think he beat Cardona. Matter of fact, he beat Cardona the night before All Out.
Wow!
And if you notice, Moxley, when Moxley was coming down to the ring, he was wearing a GCW jacket.
Yeah, he was. Like I know, it didn't bother me that he did it either, because I was like, well, I know he was there, but I didn't know. Oh
no, he's a champ. Yeah, he's a champ.
Shit.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying they're going to bring in, they're going to bring Nick Gage in there because him and Nick Gage had a face off at the end, but the problem is how many people know Nick Gage. That's going to be the fan. Yeah, that's going to be the thing. Yeah.
Like, and even if you are a casual fan, and like if you watch the documentaries, go to the is it Dark Side of the Ring?
Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring, Nick Gage.
Yeah. Go look at that. Go look at that fucking Dark Side of the Ring. You'll find out real quick who the fuck Nick Gage is. He's one of the most hardcore motherfuckers in the game right now. So yeah, just knowing that possibility is there for AEW TV is fucking huge, bro. That's huge. So shit.
It's huge for the niche hardcore market. Yes.
Yeah, it is. Because now
but guess what? But guess what though? We're good to have the hardcore niche market, but we're trying to get the casuals to watch the product.
Well, not even that, because after this pay-per-view, a lot of people, I watched, I was on the Twitter machine, I watched it. There was a lot of people that said they fell in love with wrestling.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of first-time viewers of the AEW product because of this show.
Oh, so, you mean the summer scam didn't do that?
No, it didn't. It didn't.
Huh.
Listen, let's talk real shit. This blew SummerSlam the fuck out of the water. Blew it out of the water. And you had Cena, Brock Lesnar, the return of Becky Lynch on that show. This show blew it out of the fucking way.
But here's one thing that I don't understand. So I get the the appeal. I guess people get happy about it, but I don't understand the deal with Brock Lesnar, because when the guy was there, when he was the Universal Champion, everybody had a problem with it. They were saying how he didn't defend the championship, how he was never there, and it was the same match. It was Suplex City, and we're tired of Brock Lesnar. Okay, dude comes back, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, he's Captain Save-A-Ho now on the SmackDown brand, and it's like all of a sudden now we're supposed to be excited about what? Oh, because Paul Heyman's aligned with Roman Reigns now. So, I mean, yeah, I admit that's kind of intriguing, but we've seen that kind of before, where these two were at odds.
It's intriguing, but it's not as intriguing as, say, the possibility that we will get CM Punk versus Bryan Danielson. And we know that that's a possibility, and we know that they're probably already building towards it. It's not as exciting as that. I'm sorry.
It's going to take a while to get there, but
yeah,
because Punk is I believe Punk's going to work with a bunch of the younger talent,
right?
Before he goes to let's have some WWE matches in here or whatever. But I just don't understand. I don't understand the hypocrisy of the wrestling fans of you being excited, and that's whatever, fans can be fans, whatever. But you're excited about a guy that you were knocking not so long ago because he was never there, and all of a sudden now it's like, okay, it's a big deal. And on top of that, they're talking about he's supposed to be back this Friday on SmackDown. I guess this is also, rumor has it, the return of The Undertaker this coming Friday on SmackDown at the Garden. So, I thought Taker was retired, but, I never have a problem seeing The Undertaker, but I just hope that he's out there to wrestle.
Yeah, I think Taker's wrestling days are behind.
I would hope so. But he is under contract. I mean, he does have a 15-year deal.
If they do that cinematic shit that they did with him and AJ Styles, I think that could work. But like
I think the cinematic matches. I think the cinematic matches are over with, bro. That was a necessity for the pandemic, of what they were doing for the pandemic. But I think those cinematic matches are done.
Yeah, and I love Taker to death, but I don't think Taker needs to be wrestling anymore.
I think Sting could do probably more at this point than Taker.
I'm pretty sure he could, and that's what worries me about them bringing him back. Like, don't bring the guy back just to get your numbers up there. Like,
that's what it's about.
Don't bring him back for that shit. Like, the man had a great career. He paid his fucking dues. He was loyal to you when literally nobody else was. Let the man enjoy his retirement.
But here's the thing though. The thing though, that the issue is this with Taker. And Taker's send-off has always kind of bothered me. It's bothered me because he didn't have a proper send-off with the fans. The fans weren't in attendance there. I mean, they brought a lot of his friends out there, and they didn't do nothing but have them come out, and then they were gone. And then here comes Undertaker. Yeah. So he didn't have a proper send off.
You think one more match is warranted?
Well, aren't they getting ready to go to Saudi Arabia?
Please, God, nothing great ever happens in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck out of that country.
Well, they're going back. They have a pay-per-view coming up there pretty shortly, and they're probably they're probably gonna be putting the Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match for the Saudi show.
Oh my God! Like, those shows, nothing good ever comes out of it.
I don't even watch them.
There's always something bad coming out of that show.
Either
they get stuck there, or somebody botches a match, and somebody leave it, bro. Leave Saudi Arabia the fuck alone.
Well, they can't. They're in their contract, so they can't.
Oh my God!
But I'm just putting. If I'm putting it together in my head, this is what this is about. It's about the Saudi show.
Money grab.
Yeah, this is the Saudi show. That's why the only reason why they would be bringing Taker out there, And I hope to God that they're not putting him in the ring, but something tells me they're going to put him in the ring.
That would be horrible. That would be horrible. But moving on. So CM Punk made some comments after All Out.
Oh, CM Punk made the comment.
So what did he say?
He made one hell of a comment.
What did he say?
All right, so CM Punk is back there with Tony Khan, and everybody's having a good time, and they're doing the media scrub and all that like they do after the pay-per-views. You know, you never see Vince McMahon up there talking about anything after their pay-per-views. But anyways, so Tony Khan's up there, he's talking with Punk, and Punk says, someone brought up the fact about how this feels like, Hall, Nash, and Hogan went to the NWO. And all that.
Talking about him, Cole, and
him, Cole, and Danielson, correct?
Right.
And Punk says, he says, I might take some heat for this, but I feel that this is bigger than that. And Punk had me up until he said that. You can't. Let me put it to you like this. You cannot say that what we're seeing now is bigger than Hogan, Hall, and Nash in the NWO.
Okay.
You can't. You cannot.
Okay.
We are 25 years later, and people are still talking about NWO. I just posted pictures the other day of me in my NWO gear, and I got a lot of NWO stuff. All right, you cannot tell me nothing. All right, about, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me show you something, bro. You see that right there?
I see it.
You see that? For the fans out there, the people, you see that? That's the NWO World Title Run. Okay. My point is this. It's a great moment. It's great. Everything that's happening right now. There ain't no way in hell. It's a different time than what it is now. The NWO angle, what it did was it accomplished two things. It got the business hot again, and it got the wrestlers guaranteed money.
It did.
That's what it did. Okay.
It did.
Without Hogan, Hall, and Nash in the NWO, we would not see an AEW today. It was because of the road that was paved on the Turner networks before AEW was ever even a thing.
Right. This is true.
You cannot say until AEW does, and I'm pretty sure they will, and I'm behind them 100%. But until AEW does the numbers that WCW did, as far as television ratings, revenue, everything, until they can damn near put the WWE out of business like WCW damn near did, you can't even be a part of the conversation.
Now, here's another one of the comments that I've been seeing, right? And shout out to YouTube watcher J Rock. A lot of people are saying if Bray Wyatt debuts in AEW, they will stop watching WWE. That's a lot of talk. So could he be the guy to get him there? Maybe, numbers wise, maybe, because they've already made some great moves with the addition of Punk, Cole, and Daniels. If Bray Wyatt is indeed that man, I don't know. Punk does say a lot of shit. He does say a lot of shit. And he speaks his mind, and he's like, I know I'm going to catch heat for it. But some of that shit may be valid. Now, are they as big as the NWO? In my opinion, no.
It's not valid, bro. No, it's not.
It's not.
No,
it's not.
No, it's not.
But can it be as big? That's a really big maybe. It's a really big maybe.
Listen,
it's not going to be as big. It's not going to be bigger than them because that move alone changed the fucking business. It changed the business.
This is the thing I will say about this. Okay, so Nash, Hall, and Hogan were bigger stars than Punk, Danielson, and Cole. NWO changed the business. NWO changed the landscape of the business. But if you look at it, NWO only had a 3-year run. If you think about it.
Right.
The run was very short. Okay. But it's the way that it was produced and just who's involved and all the memories you have of that is the reason why it's still to this day it's relevant.
Right. But
will this moment, will you look back in time and say, hey, do you remember when Bryan Danielson came out at All Out and attacked the Elite or blah, blah, blah? Or do you remember, damn it, where were you when Hogan dropped a leg drop on Randy Savage? Where were you when Scott Hall came down the aisle and said, hey, you want a war? You're going to get one.
Yeah.
When were you? Where were you when Kevin Nash says, you look at the adjective, play. We ain't here to play.
Yeah, I remember all of that. Now, I will say to you, we were kids then, right?
Yeah.
There's a kid watching. There's a kid that watched.
Absolutely, and that is correct. That is correct. But now, bruh, I got 6 to 7 year olds that's coming out with NWO t-shirts on now. Exactly, too sweet.
Exactly. What I'm saying is, we've been playing off nostalgia for a very long time. True. And that's partially due to the fact that nothing fresh and new has been presented to us until now. So now you have a whole new generation.
Correct. Incorrect.
What's the freshest thing? What's the freshest thing that's been presented in the last 20 years? Outside
the Bullet Club.
The Bullet Club, right? So if the Bullet Club were to show up in AEW, now we have a conversation.
Yes.
Now we have something to talk about. But that's what I'm saying. This has potential. I don't necessarily think Punk's right, but I think the potential for it to be as big as it was, it's there. It's definitely there.
But he wasn't saying potential. He said it was. He didn't say potential. He said it was. But and I don't agree with that.
I'm saying what I'm telling you is the potential for him to be right is there. It's there.
Hey, we'll see about that.
That's what I'm saying. We'll see. But the potential for Punk to be right, it's there. It is very there. And if they keep doing this, I think the potential to get at the behemoth is there too.
But wait a minute. But somebody in the group right now put this up on there right now. But somebody just made a comment. I want to address that.
What's that?
So
comparison.
Yeah. So he's saying basically that it's an unfair comparison because this is a kayfabe storyline. These significant signings. Hall and Nash were significant signings to WCW. Yes, those were big signings. Okay,
those were big signings.
Those were big signings. Hall and Nash were significant signings to WCW, just like everybody else that followed them to WCW, like Kurt Hennig was another significant signing. Like a Raven from ECW was a significant signing. Perry Saturn. All these different guys that came over from WCW, so those were significant signings. Right. You can't. It wasn't about okay. Yeah, the NWO was a kayfabe storyline, correct? But those were significant signings. The first significant signing for WCW was Hulk Hogan in 1994. Okay. Yeah, now what I will say for this one here is the first significant signing for AEW on the level of a Hulk Hogan, not star power, it was CM Punk.
It's CM Punk, yeah.
It's CM Punk. So when people say, well, they're not really Hogan, Hall, and Nash, well, kind of in reality, it is. It's just a different way you look at it. It's they're not. What I'm saying is, it's not as big as he said that it's bigger than NWO. It's not bigger than NWO. It never will be. It's not. But well, as you say, it has the potential to do something. But what I'm saying is that WCW was only around for 10 years, if that. Okay. AEW is already making the right moves.
2 years in.
2 years in, 3 years in. They've already making the moves. Yeah, they've already making the right moves. But what I'm saying is that foundation was put down a long time ago because of what happened before they even got there. Okay?
Yeah.
With WCW. And it just, those were significant signs. It's like when people really irritate me when they say, well, AEW is hiring all these WWE guys. Where are these guys supposed to work?
Right.
If you get fired from Burger King, you go work at McDonald's. You go work at Wendy's. Or here in Texas, at Whataburger.
Now, what WWE is doing now is getting away from what they've done, right? Because a lot of these guys that are stars now came from the indies. They're getting away from that whole game. They're stepping outside of the box and they're trying to find different talent from different areas and mold them into what they want them to be. But a lot of those guys, Kevin Owens, indie guy. Daniel Bryan, when he was in WWE, indie guy. Right? Seth Rollins, indie guy. A lot of these guys came from the indies and then showed up in NXT and then developed into what they are now. Like, the only person I think is truly homegrown was Roman Reigns, because Jon Moxley, when he was there as Dean Ambrose, indie guy, right? A lot of these guys came from the indies. So the business it's been that way, right? So you can't really say that these guys are WWE guys, because shit, a lot of these guys came from the indies.
Bruh, I'll go back. I'll go you one better. Okay, Steve Austin, Mick Foley, Kurt Hennig, all these different guys. Bret Hart,
Jericho,
Bret Hart, Stampede Wrestling, Kurt Hennig, AWA. Okay, Steve Austin, Mick Foley, WCW.
Right.
Vader, WCW. Hulk Hogan, AWA.
Yeah. And I like this comment too. They trying to mold people like they did with Kurt Angle. WWE is, but he was an elite athlete. But a lot of these guys now, like, they come in with the talent of an elite level athlete, though. That's what they're looking for in WWE.
They're looking for the talent of an elite athlete, yeah. But here's the thing that Kurt Angle is probably going to happen. And I know that they've had some recent signings. Like I said, Gable, Stevenson, have come in. Okay, here's the thing though. Kurt Angle had something that a lot of these other ones don't. Kurt Angle had charisma. Kurt Angle had previously appeared in a wrestling show. Kurt Angle had previously appeared in ECW prior to signing with the WWF. So he had already had some type of a sports entertainment, a feel for it. He had done it already. So WWE is looking for. WWE says that AEW can have all the indie guys they want. We're going to focus on this over here, and I think this is going to be it's going to account for their demise, because you got to get these guys over. Jason Jordan was an athlete like that, had a wrestling background, and he couldn't get him over. You did that stupid angle with him being Kurt Angle's son. It did nothing for him. You got Chad Gable on the roster right now, who has an NCAA background in wrestling and can go, and you ain't doing nothing with him. So what exactly are you talking about? Exactly. So what are you talking about?
Right. Yeah. So good luck with that shit. And as long as you releasing good guys like that, like the stupidest move they made the day they released Bray Wyatt, I was like, they are in fucking trouble. Because AEW's going after him. You know it. you're gonna have Malachi Black and Bray Wyatt on the same show.
But who's saying that Bray Wyatt won't? Who's saying that Bray Wyatt won't end up in Impact Wrestling?
No, that's true. Strowman's there.
Oh, he's gonna be there.
Oh, he's gonna be there. So yeah, we could have a Wyatt family reunion.
But I think the ultimate goal right now, yeah, Impact is there. Impact is there. Impact has always been there. But the ultimate goal is, we can be in Impact Wrestling, but the ultimate goal is to go to AEW. That's where you want to go. That's where you're gonna have the most exposure. I'm sorry, Access TV is cool. I'm glad Impact is doing their thing, but AEW is on TNT, soon to be on TBS. That's pretty much where you want to be. That's the number 2 show in this country, the number 2 company in this country. That's where you want to be. It is what it is.
Agreed. I agree. So, moving on. Actually, that's a pretty good segue. So, talent coming from WWE. It's kind of been, if you are a WWE talent, right, watching All Out, watching this shit unfold, and you are on the fence, where do you go? Do you stay with WWE? Or does the grass look greener at this point?
It's very simple. You wait for Nick Khan to go through the budget and see where we can cut and who do we not need. And you talk to Bruce Pritchard and all these different people, and Vince, of course, has a final decision, but you cut who you don't need. And that's the same thing. Jack Swagger's another one. They tried. Yeah, they tried with Jack Swagger as well, and it didn't work. But going back to talent, though, it's kind of like who. It's like this. If I'm AEW, and if I could pick talent from WWE that I could use that are coming up or something like that, who would I pick if it was me? The number 1 guy on my radar right now that I would pick up would be Ricochet.
I'm gonna go Cedric Alexander.
He's another one. And who tweeted out the other night that he was jealous of Big Swole right now because she was in that Battle Royal and she was on All Out. So obviously he wants out. He those 2 guys are good talents I pick up. I'm in WWE. What was that comment?
He said, "If I'm with WWE, I'm staying. I can't see AEW signing much more except for Bray Wyatt because their roster is stacked." Now,
the roster is stacked, but here's the thing with that. To counter that, right. The roster is stacked, but now it's time for AEW to start getting rid of people that they don't need. But you also have to remember something. Yeah, the roster is stacked in AEW, but AEW still produces other TV shows outside of Dynamite. They got Rampage, which eventually Rampage is going to be going to 2 hours. It's going to be a 2-hour show, so you need that. So what I would do if I was AEW is I would have one roster pretty much that's dominating Dynamite, and then the other roster is dominating Rampage. Kind of like what WCW, Eric Bischoff's original idea was for Thunder and Nitro, which was Nitro being an NWO show, Thunder being the WCW show built around Bret Hart. Right. So you take the Rampage show, build the Rampage show around, a CM Punk, Darby Allin, Bryan Danielson crew, and then have Dynamite be about Adam Cole, Omega, and whoever else they bring in. But you can bring in more talent from WWE, but it's just you gotta start trimming the fat a little bit from the AEW roster, people you don't need, like the Joey Janela's of the world. And all these other guys that you're not going to do anything with. You had them there, but do you really need them? Right. And that's the problem.
That point's going to come.
They haven't really made any cuts, so
that point's going to it's inevitable. It's going to come. Yeah. So kudos to those guys for sticking around for the long run. But I hear nothing but good things from anybody who's in AEW about AEW. So, I mean, you have Dark Elevation, Dynamite, and
which are going to be moving. Which are going to be Dark and Dark Elevation are going to be moving actually to Universal Studios. Oh, so they're going to be taping that at a soundstage with fans, kind of reminiscent of NWA TNA back in the day, Impact Zone. Right. So they're going to be doing that. So you got to need talent for that show. So that's where you'll see the the Dante Martins and all the rest of the talents that they use, Varsity Blinds and all these different cats that they use for that show. So that's what they're gonna. AEW is gonna expand. I'm not sure exactly how many people they had, but I believe at one point WWE had about over 200 wrestlers on their roster that they don't even use. Okay, I remember WCW had about 60 that they had on a roster at a given time. They were bringing 65 people to TV. Jericho would say 65 people to TV, 25 guys would work. So you got to trim the fat in AEW, and I think eventually Tony's going to do that. Start trimming the fat of people. That do we really need this guy? Do we? What's this guy done for us? What do we need? Do we need to keep a Janela on the roster, or Tony, or Sonny Kiss, or any of these people? Do we need them on the roster? Or can we free them up for Bray Wyatt? Can we free them up for Ricochet? Can we free them up for Cedric Alexander? I think they can. I think Tony has pretty much. To me, Tony seems to have an unlimited checkbook of he can get anybody he wants, and that's a good thing sometimes. That's a bad thing sometimes.
Yeah, but you know the point's coming. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But overall, I think it's the hottest company. But speaking of the other company, WWE held an emergency meeting. What the fuck did they talk about?
Oh, they just probably talked about, Vince was going to miss the show and Bruce Prichard was going to be running it. That was pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, you didn't really expect WWE to come back with anything last night, did you? Be like, we're going to stick it to AEW because if that's what they came out with. Did you? I mean, if that's what they came out with last night, shit, man. Good luck.
They can't. You can't stick it to AEW, right? AEW is fucking fire hot right now. You can't. They are on fire. Like you can't. Right now, AEW is untouchable. And good luck. I hope the meeting was to let them know that from now on, like, just go out. Get your shit off. I hope that was the meeting. Because
obviously,
I want competition.
Obviously, that wasn't because look what they gave you.
but all right, this was the day of planning. So what's gonna happen from here?
Well, here's the deal, man. Listen, WWE let them tell it. They don't consider AEW to be competition. So. We'll see. WWE are probably contacting the old guys like Hogan and Honky Tonk Man to return to counter AEW. Hey, listen, I got no problem with Honky Tonk Man. Honky Tonk Man named me Fabulous Frankie D. I got no problem with Honky. Honky is a shit. But when you start talking about people, I mean, Hogan can barely get around now, brother. So I don't think he's going to be coming around, which is kind of messed up, about the Hulkster. I mean, it really is. Hollywood, it is.
Hey, it is.
It is what it is.
We all get old, bro. It happens.
Yeah, but most of us wasn't leg dropping and falling on our ass for 30 years, and that's what did it. So that's why you barely move now. 7, 8 back surgeries. The guys had. You kind of feel bad for the Hulkster. Then you realize all the people you screwed over, and then you don't feel so bad.
Yeah, true. But I would like to see WWE step up and accept the competition. Like, just step your product up.
Vince McMahon has gone on record saying that it's not the same as with WCW. He does not consider them competition. He doesn't. So
it's. I'll say it. It speaks volumes that he would speak this way, and then you get what you get out of AEW. It speaks volumes. Like, he's fucking out of touch with it.
We're in great shape.
Like, I legitimately think Vince McMahon does not pay attention to that.
Bruh, Jim Ross said that Vince McMahon never watched 10 minutes of the original NWO when they were on WCW TV.
I would believe.
He had people watching it for him.
I would believe that.
Pritchard would watch
when I was
the shows. Cornette would watch the shows to go back to tell Vince what was going on, but Vince never watched it because Vince had already seen them in WWE. So why is he watching? The only thing they could say was, "Well, damn it, we should have turned Terry heel a long time ago when they turned him." But we were talking before we started recording the show today, and you had your theory about NXT that I wanted to hear. The revamping of NXT.
Right. So good segue, because we are going to talk about the NXT rebranding. This reminds me. You remember the Madison Square Garden incident, right?
It's been a lot of incidents in the Garden, bro.
The curtain call.
Yes.
The curtain call. Who got punished out of that?
It was Trips.
I think this is the curtain call 2.0, bro. Because the Wednesday night thing didn't go the way he thought it was supposed to go. NXT was supposed to dominate with Hunter's vision of what NXT was, right? And NXT lost handily. I think this whole rebranding idea is Vince punishing Hunter for losing the Wednesday Night War.
Okay, can I be frank about something?
Be frank.
I am. Well, I am, but So here's the thing. I think Hunter's vision of NXT when it was a solo show on the WWE Network, when the takeovers were better than the pay-per-views from the main roster.
Yep.
That's Hunter's vision. When NXT moved to USA Network because they can get money for it.
That's Vince.
That's Vince's vision. Vince's vision is to sell the rights to USA Network and we get money for it. That's what that was. And even though it was Hunter's vision, still, I have not watched NXT in years, bro. I couldn't get into it anymore, especially when you have AEW was rumored to be. If you remember, AEW's original date was supposed to. The original day they were talking about was supposed to be Tuesday Night Dynamite. That's what the rumor was.
Right.
Okay. NXT announced they were going to come out, and they actually, I think they came on TV maybe a month before AEW did on Wednesday. They were going to be direct competition. Why would you pick that day? Because you were trying to stop any growth or momentum for AEW, and it backfired. So you could be right in saying that this could be Vince, putting his foot down and basically telling Hunter, I got it. Me and Bruce are taking me, because what it sounds like to me is that Hunter and his crew are still going to be doing stuff there, but Vince and Bruce are going to be taking care of the main angles, the big stuff. But the big stars, you guys handle these pretty much the lower tier, whatever. But we're gonna handle the big names on NXT, and we're gonna rebrand it. And they got that ugly ass logo with all the colors, and it's just like they're gonna have a brighter lights, a bigger set, and I'm just like, this is gonna be a full scale production that WWE is gonna do. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you can put anybody out there. You can put this shit in a dome. You can light it up with as many lights as you want to, and it still won't hold a candle to what AEW did at All Out the other night.
It won't.
Period.
It won't.
It's not going to hold a candle to Dynamite. Now, one thing I wish AEW would do is I wish they would get rid of the 2 tunnels for the entrance.
I like those.
That's too TNA-ish for me.
I don't have a problem with it.
What
I wish though, I wish that stage prop was different. Like, give me the 2 tunnels, but get rid of the chandelier shit. Like,
yeah, it's too TNA-ish. That's the thing. It just looks too much like TNA. That's my only thing. Even Punk gets confused when he's walking back. It's like, Michael, is it this one, or is that one, or is this one, or is it that one? Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
but the crowd helped him out.
The crowd helped him out, yeah. So,
That don't bother me. That don't bother me at all. It really don't. But I just wish the stage setup was just a little different. I don't know what I could do to make it better. Maybe that works, but like, give me a bigger middle screen.
Well. They need to. Well, and another thing that's why I said they need to do something different is because Rampage is supposed to be its own show, but you can't have Rampage having its own show and its own identity when you're using the same set as Dynamite. That's my point. Exactly. It has to be something different, and something different can be get a big ass screen and have one of those tunnels. Okay, and then have two screens on the side. And that's it. There you go. You got your own Rampage has its own look. Nitro looks completely different from Thunder. SmackDown looks completely different from Raw.
It does.
So
you're right.
Well, used to. SmackDown and Raw have the same sets now, but you know.
Yeah.
But remember when they said when they came back, they were gonna have this cutting edge stuff and they were gonna have this cutting edge set that, you know, a screen.
Yeah. Budget.
where are the stages? Where are the stages they had before the pandemic though? Because SmackDown had a really cool set.
They did.
You know, SmackDown did at least stuff. Raw looked like some kind of skateboard ship.
It did. It looked horrible.
Yeah.
But budget. That's
I don't think it has anything to do with the budget. I just think that they
got away from pyro.
They're back to not having pyro.
They're cutting back on it. It ain't like it was.
I thought that was an issue with SummerSlam. I don't know. I don't watch shows, so whatever.
Yeah, they cut back on pyro major, bro. Like,
yeah.
It ain't like it was. So,
well, Tony Khan, the AEW gives you pyro every week, so.
Yep, every entrance.
That's the reason why, and that's another reason why WWE brought pyro back to begin with, because AEW was on it. Yeah. That's the only reason why. Go look at all look at all their TV from 19 and 2000. What was it 17, 18, 19? All those years, it was cold opens.
Yep.
AJ would come out there with nothing.
Yep. Now, blast them.
Yeah.
Blast them off. But yeah, they cut back on that major, bro. Like,
yeah, well, hey. I was at Raw a few weeks ago to go home for SummerSlam, and Goldberg had his pyro, and Rhea Ripley had her pyro and all that, so whatever.
Yeah. Put that Spanish announce table ringside.
Yeah.
No, that table getting fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. It was always a Spanish announce table that I always used to get wrecked.
Let's say hello to our foreign announcers. They're from the Spanish table. Yeah. We ain't gonna be here too long. Exactly. You ain't gotta worry about introducing us.
Exactly. Shit.
Oh man. Any parting shots, man? Final thoughts.
Nah, man. It's just can't wait to see Dynamite and see what happens on Rampage. Yeah. So that's what it is. And if I happen to be looking on the clips on YouTube, that's the only reason only way I'm gonna keep up with WWE like I've been doing is just clips on YouTube, see what's going on, anything that I see. I have no interest in their brand or anything they're doing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's got to be something really significant because I don't pay too much attention to it anymore, especially because AEW's been on this run that they're on. Yeah. So my attention span on WWE, like, you got 5 minutes to convince me, bro.
Right. Exactly.
You got 5 minutes to convince me that this is going to be a good show, and if I ain't see it, I'm turning. So that's where I am with WWE, and I hate that I'm like that because I want to see good wrestling on all their shows. But
yeah, I mean, if they drop any other belts, I'll buy it. But that's it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So if you ain't got nothing, man, I ain't got nothing else.
Nah, I just want to thank the people out there that listen to the No Gimmicks podcast, and it is what it is. And over at youtube.com/No Gerwick. That's GERWECK.net. Check the YouTube channel out. That's where a lot of my old interviews are up there right now with, Teddy Long talking about, the time that Ric Flair called him the N-word and, stuff like that. And me going at it with Vince Russo about him copying ECW, which he denies. So check it out. YouTube.com/Gerwick. And, that's pretty much it. That's all I got.
We do another one of these early shows. We got to get Teddy on here.
That would be a good idea. Because Teddy Long got some stories.
Yeah, we got to get
Teddy got stories. Teddy Long got stories for days.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'll holler at Teddy about it. He the homeboy, so I'll get at him to see what's up with him.
All right. For sure. But yeah, man, thank you to the No Gimmicks podcast fan group. Thank you to the DFPN. Again, this is on DFPN on the YouTube too, so check us out. We'll be bringing you more. Tune in. Until next time, y'all be safe. Enjoy that wrestling. Talk about it amongst each other. Be fans again. Peace.
This is No Gimmicks Podcast. This is No Gimmicks Podcast. Hosted from and Black Mess. This is the No Gimmicks The following